Welcome to day 11 of JLTV's exclusive coverage of the 19th Maccabiah Games direct from the State of Israel. My name's Mitch Gaylord, coming to you from the JLTV Maccabiah headquarters. So sit back, relax, and enjoy JLTV's exclusive coverage of the 19th Maccabiah Games.
I'm Eran Shargal, and we're here at Beit Halochem Tel Aviv to cover Shayne Smith, member of the USA Paralympic basketball team. Despite having a less than 2% chance of living as a baby, we got the opportunity to sit down with Shayne on his 25th birthday. Let's find out what motivates this extraordinary individual.
Well, Shayne Smith is a Canadian wheelchair basketball player. He's 25 years old and is a real inspirational story. I have been managing or coordinating the Paralympic team with Maccabiah Canada for about a year, and I guess through some networking that I did, I found out that there was a Jewish wheelchair basketball player in Canada, and that this was Shayne. So I followed this up, got to meet Shayne, and through the past year we've been working hard, we've been fundraising. There have been some very, very generous donors in Canada that have helped bring him here to Israel. And he's now here competing on an international team.
Perfect example of no limitations. We're back with one of the most inspiring stories from the 19th Maccabiah Games. We're joined today with Shayne Smith. Shayne, tell us your story. How did you lose your limbs?
When I was 4 months old, I contracted a rare form of meningitis called meningococcal septicemia. Don't worry about repeating it, I can't spell it. And what it does is it stops all the blood in your body from flowing. So the doctors had to find where my blood stopped and amputate my left hand, my legs, and some fingers on the right.
How was life growing up? Was it difficult?
Well, I'm going to ask you the same question. Was life difficult growing up for you?
It was.
Right? So I'm very fortunate that it happened so young. This was the only life I knew, right? So I grew up with a quote-unquote normal life, right? But it was normal in my sense, right? What's normal to me might be different than what's normal to you. So, you know, I grew up with a pretty normal lifestyle.
Now, I'm sure people have been doubting you your entire life and, telling you, from what I understand, you had a very slim chance of surviving.
Yeah, I was given a less than 2% chance to survive. And, it didn't stop there, people telling me what I couldn't do. When I started playing wheelchair basketball, I was 8 years old, and everyone except for my coach and my mom said not to let me play, and I was never going to amount to anything. And it actually took me 4 years before I scored my first basket.
So talk about your love for basketball. Where have you gone from there?
From there, I went on. I've played in 2 Canada Winter Games tournaments. I've been the captain of the one Canada Games team for Ontario. I actually carried the flag in the opening ceremonies for Team Ontario at Canada Games. I've played on 2 World Junior teams. I've played in Paris and England. I've held a 2-week wheelchair basketball clinic in Bermuda. I've got to do quite a bit with this sport.
Wow, that's quite amazing. So you're from Canada. Why are you not representing Canada at the Maccabiah Games?
Great question. I'm the only Jewish Canadian wheelchair basketball player in the world. So the United States asked me if I would join their team. They needed an extra body, and I wanted to come to Israel, so it was really a perfect fit and a great match.
Why did you decide to come to the Maccabiah Games?
I think just being in Israel is amazing, and Team USA has that great Israel Connect program before the games. I got to meet some incredible people that are going to be lifelong friends.
Talk about your experience here in Israel.
My experience here has been absolutely incredible. I mean, I can't even put into words really how great it's been. I want to give an actual shout out to one of the guys on the hockey team. His name's Jason Torf. He's the goalie for the men's Open USA hockey team. Him and one of their other players, Pete, carried me together down the steps of Masada so that I would get the full experience of the trip.
Wow, it's just unbelievable unity and friendship that you experience here at the games.
Exactly. There's nothing, there's no connection really like the connection between Jews.
Now, I also understand that you're quite the entrepreneur. You have launched a company of your own?
Yeah, I'm a motivational speaker, and the name of the company is No Limit. That's actually No Limits with a Z. And my hashtag is #NoLimit. This is my t-shirt. We've started a clothing company out of this, and it's really gone quite far.
So you travel, to universities or across the world?
We go to elementary schools, high schools, and universities all over North America so far, and we're actually looking to plan a UK tour.
What does the future have in store for Shayne Smith?
You know what? I love that question. That's probably my favorite question that I get. because the future is as bright as you want it to be. And for me, I'm going to give a 5 to 10 minute version of my presentation at the Oscars or the Grammys. I guarantee that will happen, and I'll be the first physically challenged coach of an NBA basketball team when my speaking career is done.
Unbelievable. Now today's also your birthday, Shayne, right?
Yeah, 25 on the 25th, so it's a big day.
Mazel tov, bro. So let's get out there, let's score some buckets, but at the end of the day, have fun. You're a complete inspiration to everyone.
Your birthday boy.
It's my teammate Moore. Love that guy.
Wish you best of luck in this game and in the future, and it's a privilege to know you, really.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that.
Well, there you have it, Shayne Smith. I think we can all learn a valuable lesson from this extraordinary individual. No limits. Reporting from Tel Aviv for JLTV, I'm Eran Shargal.
Drop the mic.
More exclusive Maccabiah coverage only on JLTV, coming up next. We are back with JLTV's exclusive coverage of the 19th Maccabiah Games. I'm Mitch Gaylord.
Shalom. We're here at the Israel Tennis Center in Ramat HaSharon, Israel, with one of the original founders of the Israel Tennis Center, Ian Froman. Thank you for joining us, Ian.
It's certainly a pleasure, and it's great to be here and to reminisce.
Ian, tell us, how did you get involved in the Israel Tennis Center?
Well, we came on Aliyah from South Africa in 1961, and I was playing a lot of tennis then, and the conditions and the state of tennis was pathetic. And then the idea came up to try and build a facility for children. And luckily, there were 5 other people that were very keen, very involved in Israel. And together we started the project, which at first was not easy. Trying to sell tennis and fundraise for tennis, as you can imagine, wasn't the highlight event anywhere in the world. But slowly it worked, and I think coming here now, after all these years, and to see what has been achieved, is something of a miracle. And in fact, I once said, and I really do believe it, I think it's more than a miracle, because a miracle happens and it's finished. But with tennis here, it was a miracle that started, and it's just carrying on and growing and doing more and more in all fields of tennis.
Do you have any future plans for tennis?
We have, in fact, with Phil Blazer, we started a project in Los Angeles, which is Israel giving to the diaspora. Having received so much from the diaspora, if there's something we can give back, it would be really a great thing to do. And seeing that we have now got quite an expert way of coaching children and bringing children off the streets and teaching them how to live together and the health and the normalcy, we took this as a project to Los Angeles, which worked out very well. Unfortunately, at that stage, I wasn't working after that for a bit, but now we want to reintroduce it, Israel giving to the diaspora in some sort of repayment for what the diaspora has done for Israel.
I'm here with Rick Bender. Rick, tell us about your involvement in the Israel Tennis Center.
Well, I became involved about 23 years ago. My partner, Dave Cohen, who's since passed away, once told me about the tennis centers. I said, Dave, tennis, why are you getting involved in tennis? All he would say is, you'll find out. And then I came here and I found out. This is just a wonderful program for the children of Israel, bringing them off the streets. It's a social program, and I totally fell in love with it.
I'm standing here with Ralph Finerman, Senior Vice President and Treasurer of the Milken Family Foundation. Tell us a little bit about the Milken Family Foundation and what their mission is.
Well, as you know, it was formed in approximately 1982. It was the Milken brothers, Lowell and Michael Milken, consolidated their various charitable efforts into the foundation. Our mission has evolved over time to where we're focused on health and healthcare and education. We support various healthcare initiatives, and of course the most well-known from the educational standpoint is the National Educator Awards, which is the largest teacher award of its kind. We also built the Teacher Advancement Program, which is a very large program and now has its own foundation, the National Institute for Excellence in Teaching, which is a public charity focused on teacher training, teacher evaluation, and teacher compensation and mentorship. I've always loved playing tennis ever since I was a kid. I played at college at the University of Pennsylvania. I played in the Air Force. I played Eastern tournaments, USTA tournaments. And even now I play one tournament a year with my daughter in the National Father and Daughter Super Senior, which is very exciting for us.
You've mentioned that you've been at the Maccabiah Games now 4 times. Why is it so important to continue to come to the Maccabiah Games?
Well, you know, in many respects, you come back and you feel like you're home. So you march in at the opening ceremonies. It's very exciting. Got 35,000 people screaming, and I don't know, what is it, 8,000 or 9,000 participants marching, 1,200 from the United States. This is very, very exciting time, and it's a pleasure to be with Jews from all around the world.
Today we have the pleasure of Joyce Eisenberg-Kiefer joining us, longtime philanthropist in Los Angeles and in Israel. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for being here with me. Thank you. The reason I'm supporting it is because when I come here and I look at the faces, that's the answer. It's an immediate thrill to see I'm helping all these kids, especially a little guy named Yossi, who is now living at the academy, having a wonderful time. He came and he tried to make me look good, and I hope I'll go for the gold, because I promised him I'd try.
How long have you been playing tennis?
Not very long. When Ben Eisenberg, who is my deceased husband, I'm now with Mel Kiefer, who is on a cane now. I guess he's been married to me 23 years, and I gave him the... Anyhow, I hope I haven't done this to him. But Ben told me I should never get on the court because I wouldn't move. But I'm proving that I will. And hopefully, and I've been playing only since he passed away, which is 1987, 86.
And why have you decided to come to Israel to compete in the Maccabiah Games?
I don't know. I just got here. You know, they came over to our club and asked us to come over and try out. Is that my husband whistling at me?
Could be.
Yeah. Anyhow, is he? Yeah, that's him. He wants me to practice. Yes, it is him. So anyhow,
How has your experience been?
it's been, I cannot even explain, walking and marching in with these people in Israel, seeing all these Jews, 9,500 Jews walking in. It was amazing. I stood around for 4 hours, but I wasn't tired. I was just exhilarated by all these people from all over the world, Spain, Cuba, India, I mean, you name it. It was amazing to be with them. I never knew there were so many Jews all over the world, especially. They're not all into tennis, but everything, every sport you can imagine. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Well, we're going to let you get back to practicing.
And then let me just tell you, I'm also going to be going to the Weizmann Institute, I think tomorrow, where I've just given a chair in personalized medicine, and we're also going to visit the Sherry Zedek Hospital, where I did a trauma center for the soldiers, and amongst many other things. A kindergarten in Yaffo, so we have a lot of things to do while we're here after tennis. Yeah.
Amazing. On behalf of everyone, thank you for your contributions to everything you've done in America and in Israel. Reporting from Ramat HaSharon,
So much.
Joyce Eisenberg-Kiefer.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you. I'll try.
More Maccabiah coverage to come. I'm Mitch Gaylord coming to you from the JLTV Maccabiah headquarters. The 19th Maccabiah Games on JLTV is brought to you in part by the Jewish Life Foundation. The Jewish Life Foundation uses the power of the media to educate, inform, and celebrate Jewish history, values, and traditions. If you would like to support the efforts of JLF, you can sign on to www.jewishlifefoundation.org. where you can make a tax-free charitable contribution. On behalf of the Jewish Life Foundation, we sincerely thank you for your support. Welcome back. Cuba proudly sent 55 athletes to this, the 19th Maccabiah Games. Let's meet two of them.
History is being made here at the archery range, where competitors from 7 nations are competing in archery for the first time in the Maccabiah Games. In addition to that, for the first time, Cuba is competing. And for the first time, a brother and sister are competing, and they won the first gold medal yesterday on behalf of Cuba. I'm here with Roxana and Rafael Gonzalez. Pleasure to have you. How incredible that you are the first ever Cuban team here, the first brother-sister team, and the first time Cuba has been at the Maccabiah Games. How does that make you feel?
We feel very proud. This is the first time from Cuba here in the Maccabiah. It's also the first time to archery. Imagine, it's unbelievable for us to be here representing the Judaism in Cuba.
Well, we feel very proud to be here and to share with all Jews around the world and to know more people and the culture and Judaism here in Israel.
Cuba, when I reached them, they were literally on their bags. They were ready to come, they were ready to go, they were very ambitious to send a delegation. The results follows because they have a very large delegation compared to the size of the community. If you compare a community of some 1,100 Jews scattered all around Cuba, it is immense. Cuba is in a very sensitive and fragile political situation. But anyway, they had to deal with it, and they did. And once the politics were behind us, they came in big numbers.
Maccabi Carazo helped Cuba a lot, who was one of the most important persons of the Cuban participation here. Also, we met him in person. He's a very nice person, very wonderful. And we are very grateful about all his job and all his help to Cuba.
What is the situation in Cuba like now in terms of how you're able to practice and access to equipment?
We can train in Cuba. The problem is just a few equipment for many people. So we practice in a school. So the first for the school are the kids, no us. It's not easy to find a way to train because of the equipment. If we could have the equipment, we could train there. They even try to help us in all they can, but you cannot do magic. If you don't have arrows and bows, you cannot train.
So it's more of an economic problem rather than a political problem.
Yeah, it's an economic problem, not political.
You just won the first ever gold medal for Cuba. Congratulations!
Yes, this is the first time for all. Also was the first gold medal for Cuba. So now we are making history. We feel very proud about all the whole delegation is very happy for our results. We don't expect that because the Israeli team is very, very good, so it was like a miracle.
And what's a miracle, Roxana, is that you're both here because you haven't been able to practice in 5 years. So you come here at a big disadvantage.
It is a great opportunity to be here and to train with the Israeli team. And it is amazing to be here and to share with all these people. Every archer here in Israel help us in all things, even in the equipment that we don't have.
You are a coach for the Israeli team. You're also helping the Cuban team. They don't have a coach here.
No, they came without a coach, so we tried to do as much as we can to help them.
That's the team spirit that we see at the Maccabiah Games.
Yes, the team spirit and the archery spirit. This is very difficult to come. It's not their own bows. They only got their bows here in Israel. They don't have a coach. They haven't been practicing so much. So any help that you can get is critical.
You've only been here a week, getting a chance to practice.
Yeah, it's, first of all, for us, the best of all this event is to share with the Jewish archers all over the world and learn more about them. So we don't care, we just want to participate, and if we could do something good, better.
You give each other tips. How do you help each other get ready for competition?
Well, we help each other, of course. We are brother and sister, so it is a pleasure for me to shoot with my brother in a mixed team and win.
Well, you did something great. I mean, how did you feel about winning that gold medal, and how surprised were you?
We are very surprised because we haven't trained a lot because we don't have the equipment. So it is an amazing thing, a miracle to win a medal here.
You know, special things only happen in Maccabiah Games.
I see that target is way out there. How do you possibly see the target from that distance?
It's not easy. It's not only the part of be sighting. You have to do some movement with your back, so that's more important than the sighting. Everybody always think because you're aiming, you have to be attentive to your sight. No, you have to be concentrate in your movement on your back to pull the arrow straight.
And you have to try to do the same thing all the times. Every hour you have to try to do the same.
So when you're in the Olympics, people shoot every day 300 arrows per day. So imagine, we have been 5 years without shooting one. So.
You've made it to the Maccabiah Games. You've already won a gold medal. Where do you go from here, and what's your hope maybe for 4 years from now?
From 4 years from now, we hope to be in the next Maccabiah. I hope we can be invited. So I think next time the competition is going to be better. This is archery for first time. Have been wonderful, but I hope in the next Maccabiah it would be better. More archers, the huge archer. That's all we need.
And hopefully you'll get a chance between now and the next Maccabiah Games to practice a little bit.
Well, if we have the arrows and the bow, maybe we can do best things in the next Maccabiah Games.
So final question I have to ask. You either did that shaving or you're wearing that bandage because of archery. Which is it?
No, it's for archery. The release could be danger your ear. So.
Roxana, you don't need to wear that.
No, this is a gift for her, for him.
Oh, you gave him that as a gift.
A gift for him.
So brother and sister who get along very nicely on the field and off the field.
Yeah, sure. We are very close. So we are always trying to be together, also in the competition, are giving advices each other. So it's better. We don't have coach. We don't need it. So.
For JLTV, I'm Susan Neisloss, holding a very serious bow, and it's heavy, looking for a bullseye here at the 19th Maccabiah Games.
Okay, it's time for the Maccabiah Minute, brought to us by the Jewish Agency for Israel.
I got into hockey because it kind of runs in the family. Like all my cousins played, my parents played, my grandparents played. and I really looked up to my cousin Mitchell and Max, and that really got me into it. It's a fun sport to play. But just the consistency, being on the ice every day. Going to the Western Wall, the whole team, that's when we kind of got together. That's when we bonded as a team mostly, when we went to the Western Wall. It's a great opportunity to play for Maccabiah because I get to play with fellow Jews, and in the past I was the only Jew on the team basically, so it's nice playing with the whole Jewish team.
We're back with JLTV's exclusive coverage of the 19th Maccabiah Games. I'm Mitch Gaylord.
4 new sports made their way into this 19th Maccabiah Games, but only one involves an animal. Welcome to the equestrian division of the Maccabiah Games, and get ready to experience the thrill of show jumping and the precision of dressage, with 2 sisters competing for 2 different countries and a mother-daughter rider pair on the same team. Coming up at the Equestrian Center. Vivian here, and I found out something very special. Her stepfather donated a fence. Tell me why your stepfather did that.
Well, we are really pleased, especially my stepfather, to support the sport in Israel. He's a great sportsman, and he likes to support all the sports in the developing country for the horse sport, and especially also young people. So he was very happy to support it.
And who is your stepfather?
He's Ludger Beerbaum. He's the most famous show jumper at this time. He won basically everything, gold medals and Olympic Games, European Championship for several times, German champion for several times, and many, many Grand Prix. So I think many of you know him.
Do you, Vivian, compete yourself?
Yes, I compete myself. Up to 1m45, 1m50.
All right, should we watch some of the show jumping here today in Israel?
Yeah, a lot, yeah. Okay.
You did really well. Your horse has got a lot of kick to him. He was trying to buck in between the jumps, and I see that he's got a little bit of a red ribbon in his tail, which means he's a kicker. Why was he kicking, do you think?
He's kicking because he's a really playful horse. He doesn't do it for against something. He just does it because he likes jumping and he gets really excited. And
you did so well. So I missed your first round, but your second round you went clear. How are you doing so far?
Well, I had 4 faults in the first round, and yesterday I had a time fault. So I'm with 5 faults right now.
So how do you feel? I know as a rider we're always so nervous, and then when we're finally done, what a relief. Have you talked to your sister? How do you...
Well, yeah, every time my sister or I finish, we always have a smile and we say how well it was, because it has been really well for both of us.
So you live in Guatemala and your sister lives in Israel. How often do you guys get a chance to ride together?
Well, actually, this is the first time we're in a competition together, and we see each other once a year.
Wow, so that must be really extraordinary. Have you given each other's pointers about riding? Have you walked the course together? Do you talk about the course, or do you leave that strictly between you and your trainer?
No, we actually help each other a lot. We talk about everything, and still when I live in Guatemala and she's here, every time I ride, I have a competition. First thing, I call my sister and tell her how it went, and the same for her.
Well, we wish you guys lots of luck, and maybe you'll let me on your horse later.
I don't think, because
I tried. So I'm meeting up with the other sister. Her name is Adi, and she actually rides for Israel. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I'm 3 years already here in Israel. I made Aliyah when I was 21. And yeah, we're riding for the blue and white flag.
And how long have you been riding?
Since I'm 6, so 19 years now.
Wow, unbelievable. Tell me a little bit about your horse.
I actually live here, so he's my own horse.
Cheater!
Yeah, but we always learn something new all the time. He's 9-year-old. He's Oldenburg from Germany, and he's really hot. He's likes to go really forward, and I love it. I love the adrenaline. I love the going back and being concentrated all the time. It's hard, but it's good.
So, would you let your sister ride your horse?
Yes, of course. After the games, though.
I feel like I could be your sister.
Yeah, you can be. We have the same eyes.
I didn't see your whole round, but it looked like you had a little bit of difficulty around some of the turns. Do you want to tell me what was happening?
The difficulty is more because he's really, really hot, so he really wants to go forward and I don't let him, so he kind of objects a bit. But it was really great. The first round we did a clean round, and the second round we had a really small rail just because I was centimeter a bit faster, but it was really good. He was jumping really nice.
You know, for a horse who's really hot and likes to go, you really don't have a severe bit on him. It's just a rubber. Can he take you to the Olympics, or do you need a different kind of horse?
I know he can jump much more, and a lot of people tell me. Josef Meyer is a designer here. He did Aachen, and he said I can do quietly the 155 with him. So I would really love to take him, find a good sponsor, and take hand by hand and win.
Sounds like Adi is on her way, so we're going to keep her fingers crossed to hope that she can make it to the Olympics for the blue and white. They like this. I know they do. They like it. Now, on to the second discipline of the day, dressage, and meet the mother-daughter duo of Team USA. So how many people tried out for the team?
100 people for both teams of 8 riders total.
8 riders total, so 4 and 4?
Yep.
So I would have never made it. Where are you from in the United States?
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
And how did you hear about it? I mean, I know your mom's the trainer.
Actually, I had a student that really wanted to do it and brought all the information to me to try to audition, but she wasn't quite at the right level yet. So I ended up auditioning for her, I suppose.
For those of us who are not familiar with dressage, what kind of a horse discipline is that?
I guess the best way to describe it is horse ballet. I mean, the idea is that we bring out the natural movements of the horse in a pattern written in a ring with letters.
And is the pattern the same from competition to competition, or does the judge give you a sort of script?
Every single day for this competition, we're riding a different test. So we start, for me, advanced level, 3rd level test 2, the next day 3rd level test 3, and then the final day FEI advanced test.
So what are some of the movements that you might be required to do?
In my test, I have single flying change.
Explain that.
When you're in the canter, you switch from one lead to the other lead.
And a lead means the front leg either goes left leg goes first or the right leg goes first. Okay, so flying lead change. What else?
Half pass, which is where you're moving sideways, but you're bending in the direction of travel. Rein back, shoulder in. I think those are sort of the meaty pieces.
Okay, speaking of horse, did you bring your own horse?
I did not. We had the option, but it is so expensive. And
how much does that cost?
In all honesty, I don't know, because I believe to here you had to fly him to Europe and then fly him to Israel. So it's like double, so like at least $15,000 to $20,000.
So it is quite pricey. Okay, so how does it feel to get a horse that you have not bonded with and you haven't ridden before?
I'm a professional. I do this every day, so I think it's actually to my advantage. But it's stressful for sure, and I'm very lucky that for me personally, I drew a really nice horse.
Oh, so you drew horses?
They drew them out of a hat for us. They called our name, called the horse name, and on you go.
How does it feel that you and your mom are here? How lucky are you?
It's really fun. It's nice to have the companionship for sure, but it is also much less stressful because we're so used to working with each other that we're just a team already, which is nice. I feel like it's an advantage for sure.
Absolutely. Well, okay, go Team USA.
United States. This is Wendy, and she is a gold medalist in the United States Dressage Federation.
Wow.
And of course, we pick what's ever in the pool. And she picked a reining quarter horse, a Western reining quarter horse. And she's only been able to ride this horse, 4 days in practice. And in 4 days, he looks fantastic. He looks like a beautiful dressage horse. He's got his shoulders going forward.
Explain what you look for with a head carriage.
Well, you want the pole to be the highest point. You want the throat lash open. The whole thing about dressage is you want the horse to move through his body and look beautiful and not look stuck and mechanical. And when you get a Western horse that's done the reining, they're not built for this sport. It's like taking a football player and saying, okay, you're going to do ballet now, right?
But how does it feel to also have your daughter make the team?
Very excited. We've had a great time. Very proud of her. I enjoy watching her grow and develop, and she's a professional now, and it's really nice.
Today, the 19th Maccabiah made equestrian history in deuces. 2 disciplines with 2 sisters from 2 countries and 2 family members. I'm Shay Yuval reporting from Kuala Lumpur, Israel for the 19th Maccabiah Games.
Much more exclusive Maccabiah coverage only here on JLTV, coming up next. Welcome back. The JLTV Maccabiah team had the chance to sit down with a very special guest here at the 19th Maccabiah Games. Let's watch.
One of the hottest young swimmers at these games is American Marcus Schlesinger. And while he certainly wants to win medals and do well, he's also churning through the water for a very different reason, in memory of a dear friend. Water's nice and warm. A lot of chlorine in here, but lovely. Hey Marcus, share with me when you started swimming and how you got involved with the Maccabiah Games.
Yeah, I started swimming my freshman year in high school. My friends actually forced me to try out for the water polo team, which was the first season, and then that ended, and the next thing was swim season, so I just jumped into that.
What are your specialties? What are you strongest in, and what do you like most?
I think my favorite stroke's breaststroke, but it's my worst stroke. And my specialty, I guess, freestyle and butterfly.
Tell me what your time was in the 100 butterfly.
I went a 54.99. Yeah.
That's pretty fast. Is that a record for you?
No, I think it's like 0.3 off my best. So, I mean, I was happy with it. It's pretty good.
So I'm trying to get in the swim of things here with Doug, one of the big coaches here for the U.S. team. Tell me about Marcus, because he was a bit shy when I talked to him.
He went 50.48 in his 100 free, which is a lifetime best. Marcus silver medal, which is huge. And he won't tell you that it's huge, but it was a tremendous, tremendous swim from him.
Is this your first Maccabiah game?
Yes.
So you came here for a very special reason. Share that with me.
I'm swimming for my friend Lucas Ransom, and yeah, I just want to keep his memory close. He was boogie boarding with our other friend Matt at Surf Beach in Santa Barbara, and he got attacked by a shark, and he died.
And you guys were tight friends.
Yeah, we were really close. All of us on the water polo team.
He actually swam a race after that his mom didn't want him to swim, and he dedicated it to his friend and went out and won the race, and afterwards called his mom and was like, I'm sorry to go against you, but it was in his honor, and I went out and won it for him. I mean, Marcus is a sprinter, short distance. So for him to go out and swim an open water race, a mile plus in the open ocean, and win that, I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Are you thinking about your pal as you swim? What do you think about?
I mean, when you're swimming, you don't really think about anything. You just kind of like blank out, but I mean, I know he's always there with me, swimming.
What's it like for you meeting guys and girls from all over the world who are Jewish, who are competing in a very different way from the U.S. Olympics?
Oh, it's awesome. It's great. I love meeting people, and this has been like the best way to do that. And I've made a lot of friends, so it's pretty sweet.
So after the games are over, what happens in terms of your swimming career and keeping in touch with some of your new friends?
I'm going to U.S. Open. I think the day I land back in America, and then I have Masters Nationals after that, and then I'll just go back to Phoenix and train.
Who are some of your either American heroes or other swimming heroes who've competed in the Maccabiah Games?
Definitely Jason Lezak, yeah, and Lenny Kraselberg, and then Garrett Webergo. It's my roommate.
He is a very modest kid. I mean, his accomplishments are tremendous, and he's just very relaxed. He's a normal, complete Southern California boy. I had the privilege of having him a year and a half ago at the Pan-American Maccabiah Games in Brazil, first time that I met him, and just totally relaxed. He won gold in every race that he swam except for one. I mean, he's just such a great kid. I mean, I love that kid. I mean, the team, which is a funny thing, I mean, you've seen him. His physique is amazing.
I'll say.
His nickname is Washboard. As a matter of fact, I couldn't get to the laundry, so I had to clean all my T-shirts. I used him as a washboard and washed all my T-shirts since I've been here.
I see you wear your chain when you swim as well. Why is that special to you?
My grandparents gave it to me on my 16th birthday, and my freshman year NCAA has almost lost it. My high actually fell into the pool when I was warming up, and I jumped back in and I searched for it for like 5 minutes. And after that, I didn't want to ever take it off again. It means a lot to me. I don't want to lose it.
I can understand that. And are your grandparents' parents? Who's here to watch you?
No, my grandparents just passed away this past year, and my mom has to work, so she couldn't come.
Okay, so JLTV is here to cheer you on.
Okay, thank you.
So in 4 years, we may see this guy, this very talented guy, back in Jerusalem. Yeah! For JLTV, I'm Susan Neisloss at the 19th Maccabiah Games. This just in to JLTV Maccabiah headquarters, swimmer Marcus Schlesinger of Team USA has won gold in the 100-meter butterfly, silver in the 100 freestyle, and silver in 2 relays. Way to go, Marcus.
Well, that's all from day 11 of JLTV's exclusive coverage of the 19th Maccabiah Games, direct from the State of Israel. I'm Mitch Gaylord. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Mitch Gaylord coming to you from the JLTV Maccabiah headquarters. The 19th Maccabiah Games on JLTV is brought to you in part by the Jewish Life Foundation. The Jewish Life Foundation uses the power of the media to educate, inform, and celebrate Jewish history, values, and traditions. If you would like to support the efforts of JLF, you can sign on to www.jewishlifefoundation.org, where you can make a tax-free charitable contribution. On behalf of the Jewish Life Foundation, we sincerely thank you for your support.